Hello again. I'm under here with this Turbo 350, and as you can see I got a new torque converter for it. And here's the edge of the bell housing. Here's the face. See the difference in gap between this one and the one off the Chevy? So, as it turns out, it was the wrong torque converter off that Chevy. It wouldn't fit. Some people told me they are interchangeable, some people told me they weren't, so I decided to try it anyways, and it turns out they are not interchangeable. So now that I got the correct torque converter on here, I'm going to bolt the transmission to the engine up there. So I got a new app on my phone now that I can pause videos. As most of you know that have watched any of my other videos, you know that they're not really edited. So I figured this new app would help me and with the quality of my videos a little more. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this for a minute, and I'll be back. Alright, so I'm back with the Turbo 350 under my car. And as you can see, it just slid right onto the dowel pins. Trying to get you a shot. See that one right there, that large? That's the dowel pin. So whenever you're putting this transmission on, one thing you want to make sure is that it just slides onto the dowel pins. You know, you don't want to force it. If it goes a little bit onto the dowel pins and then won't go anymore, don't try and stick a bolt in and trying to, you know, crank it in. That'll usually end up with problems. It'll usually end up, if it's a torque converter seating issue, it'll usually screw up your front pump. It's not a good idea to force them in, so you just want them to slide on the dowel pins, and you want the bell housing to mate flushly with the block. So yeah, anyways, after I jacked the transmission up a little bit more, it was just a matter of just sliding it on the jack. So that's all there was to it. All I have left to do is to put my shift linkage that goes from here right there. It goes over to, there's a little piece that goes onto this. I gotta put that on. Gotta hook my speedo up. Gotta put the cross member on. Drive shaft, cooling lines, modulator. I believe that's what it's called, the shift modulator. It's a little vacuum thing on the side of the transmission. And I think that'll be about it for this thing. This transmission, for some reason, I don't know why, it's a rebuilt unit, and I don't know if it has a shift kit in it or it's some kind of like a street and strip transmission. It for some reason it doesn't have a kickdown cable like most Turbo 350s do. Where the kickdown cable hole is, it's got a little plug banged in there, so they must have did that when they rebuilt it, and I don't want to open that plug up and to discover that there's no little hook for a cable, and then destroy the plug when I remove it and have nothing to plug the hole with. So I'm going to be perfectly content with just shifting it down in a second when I come to a hill or whatever, you know, or whatever I need to pass. So that's no big issue. Just one less thing to go wrong anyways, I guess. But anyways, just wanted to show you, whenever you're mating these up, just look for them to go on the dowel pins and look for them to mate flushly between the block and the bell housing. And also, you can probably actually see it from under here, the way that I supported the engine. Okay, let me get this wiring harness out of the way. See where this bolt's going in? That's actually the back of the cylinder head. I just threaded one of these, a bolt in to the back of the cylinder head, put a block of wood here, and this is actually like a little cut plug between the head of the bolt and the board. So before you remove your transmission the first time, just put that bolt in, put the board in, and then turn the bolt out until it hits the block of wood, and then it's set right there where the correct position for the transmission and engine are, and that way it doesn't lean back and crush your distributor. So that's just a little thing I come up with. I'm sure others have done it before, but I just never seen it done. So anyways, that's just a little tip in case if you gotta figure out a way to support your engine. But anyways, I'm gonna throw a couple more bolts in this thing, and then I'm gonna do my I gotta do my torque converter bolts yet, and then later. This thing has fluid in it. I don't know how old the fluid is. It looks somewhat old. So whenever I get this transmission all bolted in and everything, I'll do a video on how to change the transmission fluid and filter in one of these. It's real easy. So anyways, thanks for watching.